No.
And did you ever get any money from Meyer Lansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
None
fellas?
of those fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, or none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Chetties?
No. I don't even speak to it. I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk to him.
You don't like him?
No.
Night Court with Joe Lanou live on X.
Also known as Duck Corella.
I refuse to answer on the grounds you made attempt to
You
criminate.
got any business?
I refuse to answer on the grounds you attempt to criminate.
You have any profession?
I refuse to answer on the grounds you made
You
attempt
have
to
any
criminate.
occupation?
I refuse.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to Late Night Court, and we're going to cowboy it tonight. I'm going to say that straight off the get. I've had some issues with my downloader, had some internet issues. I've had a lot of issues today. I come back to my house and, kind of unmothballing things and put things together. So I've been very busy. But I had this real nifty downloader that I could put all the videos that I wanted to one time, download them, and then I could get them through the editing process. But that downloader did 3 of them, and I hadn't been able to get it to work since. So we're going to cowboy it by doing some screen sharing directly from YouTube. But I do have a list. We want to search for them. But hey, it's kind of good. It's good to be back to Friday night videos, even if it's late. But we got Jason with us tonight. We got Fidgy, Bruce Wayne, and TC from the Minnesota Black Robe Regiment podcast. Podcast, right, TC? Okay.
Yes, I was muted.
I think it is podcast, and I just renamed it if it's not.
No, it is.
We've got John Cox just popped in. He's got him a rather large 3D emblem there. I like that. Hey, that's something too. We're gonna review and unveil the 3D Response website tonight. It's been revamped, redone. It looks very good. I've had a sneak peek to it, but we're gonna bring that up at probably towards the end of the show and spend a little time on that and take a look at it. Good job, and hats off to Jason on that. I'm pretty impressed with that. But we also got Bruce Wayne. What's going on, Bruce?
Of
Right
course,
then.
you wait until I roll away. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. Hey, we've got Vet. Good to see you, Vet.
Hello, everybody.
Guys, I'm dragging my feet in because my actual night crew guys and gals, they got Jason tonight. They did not get a link. We were in here just thinking they were going to be a no-show until I look at my phone and John Cox is sending out the alarm that no link was sent. So we're going to give them a few minutes to get loaded up, and we'll go to our first video. I think I've had some interesting ones tonight.
Can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay.
And guys, I'm using another StreamYard account tonight. I don't know if I've got it set up correct. I believe comments are on. If somebody watching on YouTube or X, if you could shoot a comment just so I can see that our viewers have a chance to comment.
Yeah, I'll look that up right now.
Oh, we've got somebody there. Oh, yeah. TC. Very good. All right, let's get to our first video.
Town 916 Normal is requesting state units left on KCIO2 on portable. Okay. Recent emergency traffic only 1230.
916. He's still rolling. I come to a couple soap pits, but not really going quick enough for him to slide out or anything.
I would think that vehicle so long you have to stop it. Okay.
Oh, he has like a bomb. Hold on. Hey. Get him away. There's a suspect threw a IED out, some sort of explosive.
As soon as you can, back away. IED, IED.
Let's go. Call the bomb squad. He threw out an explosive device. He's trying to light it.
Copy. Lock that traffic. Deter him to exit 8.
There's quite a bit to read here, so I'm going to let everybody get a chance to soak this up.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looked like Seattle.
Okay, anybody want to comment on it yet?
Yeah, the pit maneuver at 3 miles per hour.
It was.
Yeah, that takedown was about as boring as. No bill for me.
Yeah, no bill for me.
Okay. Vet, what do you think?
I mean, it's nothing. I mean, just a normal traffic stop, it seems like, you know.
No, I don't think it's a normal traffic stop, is it? Not in my
Well, I mean,
experience.
it's just. I mean, it's just nothing to like really. What can I say? I mean, it's just, you know, two dudes doing dumb shit, spike strips, stopped them, put them into the wall, pursuit. You know, that's all.
So you think the police did their job? So you just think the police did their job right, Vet?
Oh yeah, I don't think they did anything wrong.
TC, anything in there that piqued your interest?
I didn't. It was not a normal traffic stop. I'm curious what the explosive device was. They said he was trying to light, but I couldn't tell that very well in the video. But maybe you guys could see it better.
I think it probably had something to do with that propane bottle that he had.
Is that what that was? I could not tell.
You know what? I couldn't tell what the explosive device really looked like. I saw him trying to light it, but would that, if it was something like a valid explosive device versus something that was some BS, would that change your opinion, TC?
No. I'm just more curious about this interaction than I am.
You're the worst. You are the worst jurist in the history of mankind. I don't think you would. You couldn't be on a jury because they would kick you off. Somebody would find out you're doing your own research and asking questions.
Well, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I would not make a good jurist. Yeah.
So you're a fine jurist here on Night Court, and we appreciate you, TC. Let's go to John.
Yeah, I didn't say anything wrong with it. No bill.
Okay, Jason. Any issues?
Ain't gonna blow my ass up.
The most boringest pit maneuver I've ever seen in my life, but no bill.
Yeah, it was more like a parking pit, something that you'd see in a parking lot, like when you're backing out of your car and you hit the next one over. Yeah, it was a very weird pit thing. But yeah, no bill. I thought it was interesting, but no bill on that. Let's go to Bowie, Maryland.
Two 1076 F.
Go ahead.
BM 197 southbound on the 50 bridge. How you doing? You know her? You here to help her? Are you here to help her?
Nah, she taking me in the hospital.
Come here. You got a gun.
What I do? What I do?
You got a gun.
I don't have a gun. I don't have a gun.
No!
What did you do?
210. 210. Start me another unit.
What did you do? Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Why would you do that? He just was getting his hand off the side of the road.
210. Start me fireboard.
Okay. Let's go to first off, let's welcome in Big Ron. He's here. Let's go to Big Ron.
Evening, everybody. From what I've seen, that's 100% going to be a bill and probably charges.
I'm going to play it back on silent so we can kind of watch this go on. So you're going to bill this? You see, okay, what if the officer says, I thought it was a gun? Would you see where would a reasonable person believe maybe there was a firearm too?
Yeah, there's always that chance that he mistook a wallet or a cell phone as a firearm, but I didn't see anything in the initial contact that would at least lead me to believe that. But hindsight's 20/20.
Okay, so you're sitting on grand jury from what you've seen.
Yeah, him having his hand in his shirt like that, I can see how the officer would think he may be drawing something. So I think I would still bill and let the jury figure it out at that point.
All right, watch this spot right here. The dash cam, I think, gives a better view of what both subjects are doing at the time the officer shoots. Okay, so Big Ron's a bill. What do you think, Vet LT3?
Yeah, I'm billing. I heard everything about what do you think of this view and that view. I mean, come on, man. If I'm walking down the street and I pull my hands out of my pockets fast, you're gonna shoot me? Like, come on, man. This is the worst fucking traffic stop ever. This guy is a little bit too anxious. I don't know what his deal is. I mean, even with his hands like holding something, like, I mean, come on, there was nothing. He didn't even draw anything to him. Like,
Okay.
it was just like, I don't give a shit if his hands was inside his jacket or not.
I'm saying watch the body cam video from this point forward. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just gonna watch this.
No, you're not going to, but it's okay. Go ahead.
So the guy comes up and I think he was picking his hat up off the highway that had blown out. So he goes to pick up his hat and he's coming back. The lady was waiting on him so he could pick his hat up, and I guess she was taking him to the hospital. So as he passes by him, he does have his right hand inside of his jacket.
Okay.
How many steps?
And then he just turns and he's just bladed to the officer from the badge cam. There's nothing drawn, nothing aimed at him.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. He just bladed to him, like he turned sideways and was bladed at him. That was it.
So this is 100% bill for you. I hear it in your voice.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. That cop deserves it. Yeah, no, he's gone, man.
Okay. Let's go to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to follow suit because me, like I always say, if someone's holding a banana, like an airsoft gun, that's reasonable cause. Someone holding their stomach, like I don't think the officer actually saw anything. He just thought the hand under the jacket was suspicious, and I'd bill that as well.
All right, we're 100% billing it. Fidgy.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm going to bill it. I agree with Ron. Let the jury figure it out. The guy had his hand in his jacket, and that looked kind of wonky. But and then he turned to the cop, and that looked kind of wonky. So I can kind of see where the cop got that impression. But I think it takes more minds than mine to figure that out.
Let me ask you this: you say I think I can see where the cop come to that conclusion, but do you think a reasonable person would have done what this officer did, given all the facts and circumstances that were available to him?
I actually said where he got that impression, and that's important because he did not see. To me, a conclusion is more harsher. So it would be that he saw a gun, but I don't think he saw one. I think he jumped. I think he jumped the gun actually. So I hate to use a pun, but yeah, that one's really questionable. Did the guy survive?
He was actually not hit.
Oh, okay, good.
The bullet did. The bullets did miss him, and they struck a passing vehicle with no injuries for this incident. And I'm gonna let the background play. I stopped it because I didn't want anybody to come up with any. Well, you know what? I'm gonna stop it again because we still have TC.
Man, and she was already taking him to the hospital. That kind of sucks.
Right. Well, circumstances are circumstances sometimes. But TC, what do you? So you're a bill, Fidgy, right? So we're still 100% on sending this to a jury, right? I'm gonna take her silence as a yes. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, I'm gonna bill this.
Okay. Any more comments on that?
I hope that if he kept his job, at this point, they didn't let him carry a gun with rounds in it for a very long time, especially since he hit a passing vehicle. That's Barney Fife written all over it.
A policeman that can't carry a live ammunition is not a policeman. That's a requirement of the job. But I get what you're going for. I see what you're saying with that, for sure. John Cox from North Carolina. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I get why he done it, but at that point, I would have said, why is your hand inside your coat, or at least give him the opportunity to explain. But I know there was only like a couple of seconds there, but I think he was on edge already. But I think I would let a jury figure this one out.
So you'd indict as well. Okay. Jason,
would.
what's your take on it, Jason?
It's a good one. So if I'm putting myself in the officer's shoes and there's a disabled vehicle, and why this guy's walking, I'm assuming the officer doesn't know that his hat blew or whatever, but why is this guy walking up to my traffic stop? So that's a red flag. And as he's walking up, he has his hand inside there. That's another red flag. And the motion that the person makes is concerning to me, and I'm not sure. This goes into the action reaction thing. It's gonna go to court, but I don't think he's gonna be a reasonable person, in my opinion. In this thing, this person walking up to the car, what he should have done is just take your hand out of your side and just say, hey, I'm with the car or something. But I can see where this cop is on edge here. I would be on edge. And then when he walks by right here in the quick blade and turn, that would make me nervous. And I've talked about the action reaction thing before. Luckily he wasn't hit, but even if he was, I'm not sure there's going to be a conviction on this one. I think there's going to be some expert testimony that comes in and talks about, we've had cases that a cell phone is flashed really quick It's a good video. This is an educational one from an officer's point of view.
Well, I'm not surprised about your assessment there. I got this. I had the same thing. I think the guy's a little quick on the trigger, and I can see antenna getting up or the hair on the back of your neck, however you want to say it. Things are hinky. I could see being in that zone and hyper vigilant, but I would indict as well. I think a jury. I agree with Jason. I think a jury needs to sort this out. I think there are some merits to the officer's actions, but I think also it could go the other way. So I would send that to a jury, and I think that the person who was shot at deserves that. But the shots hit a passing vehicle, but doesn't injure anyone immediately. Warrington starts to apologize. The Sergeant Robert Warrington has been indicted by a grand jury, just like he was here today. Was indicted by a grand jury on multiple charges, including 1 count of attempted second-degree murder, 1 count of first-degree assault, 2 counts of reckless endangerment, and 1 count of misconduct in office. These charges were announced during a formal news conference on October 24th. Go through the last part. That's not him. So yes, he was indicted and charged multiple times. But I agree with that, actually. Does anybody disagree with that? I don't think they do, but does anybody disagree with that?
No, I don't. I mean,
No, I don't disagree at all with it. It's going to court. I think the defense has some ammo there to protect their client. The prosecution also has ammo. This is a jury call.
Yeah, this is similar to someone who is standing in the doorway of a passenger vehicle. How quick they can, because it's the angle that you're watching them when their back is slightly to you. By the time they present themselves, they could be fully engaging you with a firearm before you know it. And I see this as a very similar type of situation. As he turns the blade, if he'd come out with a pistol, if his right hand had been in there and there was a pistol there, as he's coming around, it would be a natural motion, and he has the advantage on the shot. But I still think that I think it needs to go to a jury and let them argue that out. Let's go to San Jose, California, restaurant and fine dining.
San Jose emergency.
Okay. Yeah, there's a guy shooting a gun at the restaurant right now.
Okay, what's the address?
Center Road. Oh yeah, he's walking down towards the 7-Eleven with a gun in his hand. He's like intoxicated, he's drunk. He's like walking down towards the 7-Eleven in the middle of like the complex. Just carrying it.
Walking in the middle.
He's shooting random people, it looks like.
Did he shoot someone?
Yeah, I think he was shooting somebody.
Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun or I'll shoot! Drop the gun!
Drop the gun!
Drop the gun! No! Drop the gun! We don't want to shoot!
Drop the gun! I got rifle.
On your back. Behind you.
I got rifle.
Yeah, copy.
Hold fire! Hold fire!
Everybody hold. Is everyone good? Is everyone good? Hey, you guys good on the left? We're good. You guys good on the left? A copy. I'm good. You good? Good, brother? Yeah, we're good. Stand by. I'm holding on here, bro. I got you. Yeah. Are you good? Good, good, good. Are you good? Hey, bounding over. Yo, I'm holding. Reload if you need to. All right. Stand by. So, guy is laying down right here. I don't know if you can see him. I'll be your cover. Hey! We need to push this car up a little closer. Copy. You drive my car. I will drive. Brent, can we drive? Hold on him while I reload. Hold on him while I reload. I got you. Reloaded. Stay on him. Yeah, I'm on him. I got the body. Push it up. I'm red.
Stand by. Stand by. What do you want?
We need to get a little closer so I can deploy the dog, separate him from the gun, and then we'll push up.
Give me a strong pull.
Yeah.
You want a broadside or do you want it straight on?
Just hit the driveway broadside. It's fine.
Copy.
Hey, you guys copy? We're pushing up. Hey, get those cars out of here. You're gonna be on.
Moving.
Here we go.
Moving with you. Yeah, we got you on the left.
Broadside left.
Broadside left. Broadside left. Okay, hold. Hey, you need me inside.
I'm off.
Okay, let's push up.
Here we go.
Push up.
Pushing up.
Leave it. I got Tater.
Give me 2 hands. I'm in.
Grab the gun.
Grab the gun, guy.
No. Somebody check.
You're gloving up.
Hey, huh? 84, 89. Code 4, send fire in for the suspect, please.
Start doing welfare checks in here.
Oh.
I'm done, Joe. There we go.
Okay, anybody want to start a comment on that? How about Fidgy?
I'm going to be a no bill.
Big Ron's a no bill already? Convinced of it?
Yeah, no bill.
Yeah, you've got to. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Big Ron.
I was going to say you've already got him shooting inside the building. You got him, people saying he's already shot somebody. He won't drop the gun on the outside. Yeah, that's definitely no bill.
Okay. Big Wayne. Bruce Wayne.
I am big indeed.
My apologies there, my friend.
It was hard for me to see when the actual shooting was happening, but they had that phone call, and you got to assume that they see a lot more than we see through the body cam. And then my mind was, I was 90% no bill before reading that last statement, and then yeah, he shot someone before it came out. Absolutely justified no bill.
Okay.
I did like that dog leash though. Never seen one so long.
You know what? I haven't either. I was wait till we got to Jason to ask if that's something that they've used. I've never seen a leash or lead that long. Like it though. So let's go to who we got. Vet.
Yes, that's a no bill, and honestly, I must need better glasses because it was hard for me to see from the distance of the body cams and everything. But if it says they pointed the gun at him and everything that led up to that, yeah, it's no bill. And somebody needs to get the canine a biscuit. Good job. And that was textbook too. The way they walked up, moved up, used the vehicle, used the dog, everything. Really by the book.
Yeah, I thought they were tactically sound. Bipolar or BIP Solar Bear. I don't pick them. I use the only criteria that I use to pick them or to select them are that I don't have commentary, somebody else telling us what happened, that it's raw video. It has some sort of a backstory most of the time. Sometimes I can't find a backstory. It's got some sort of a backstory to it. So you have some contextual information, and that it's new that some not videos we've seen before. I'm not here to pick them out. I pull them as I get them. And was the officer that shot the guy unarmed as he walked by? Was that not controversial enough?
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that one was pretty controversial.
No,
Yeah, I think he might have just joined in and missed the first one before the one before this one, and now
but I
he's just
don't,
talking
I
out his
don't,
butt.
I don't select them by the content of them. Some of these I don't. When my downloader's working, some of these I see the same time you do. But I watch enough of it to know that it's not somebody narrating in the background or has an inlay in it, that it's raw footage, and that it's relatively new, and I'll select it. Let's go to TC. Have we been around? I forget where we're at. I think we're at TC, aren't we?
Justifiable use of force.
Yes, BIP Solar Bear. I promise, and I will pinky swear to the criteria that I just gave you. I get sent, and to be honest with you guys, I get sent a lot of videos. Hey, do this one, but that's not how a grand jury is going to see it. A grand jury is going to see the evidence presented in front of them and make a decision off of that, and that's kind of what I'm trying to replicate here. So, John Cox from North Carolina.
Yeah, that's a no bill, plain as day.
Okay. Nobody's mentioned suicide by cop. Cool. Jason?
I was just going to say that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, nice work, dude. No bill.
Yeah, I think it's no bill. I think that guy saw the end of the road standing there with all the police on the standoff, and he counted out that 1, 2, and or 3, 2, and never got to 1. But I think that's when if you watch the video, I think it's the point where he kind of levels the gun and he gets aired out thoroughly. That's good. Okay, here's the point of the show where we are going to go cowboy, pulling them straight off of YouTube because my downloader didn't work. But here is the next video. This audio is going to kick in a minute, I believe.
No sound on this.
Yeah, if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, it says no audio.
I think that might be hidden by the ribbon for me.
Same here.
Let it be revealed.
I do like that ribbon and that.
We got a beanbag on route.
I wanted to do color commentary. John Madden style.
Go in the back passenger side of my Tahoe. There's a shield. Go grab it.
Which Tahoe?
I'm right behind him.
Right behind him?
Yes, right behind him. Passenger side Tahoe shield. You guys go with your shield. In the back seat. That is pistol rated, just so we're clear. I don't know. Hold on. Does anyone have a less lethal shotgun? Less lethal! Yeah, we'll shoot for the back. Okay, good.
Shield, brother.
Okay. I'm analyzing. He's gonna run his habit. He's reaching for the floorboard.
County 6. A lot of movement. 16.
16, get up here with the less lethal. Show me your hands! Show us your hands! Put your hands in the air! Put your hands in the air! We're trying to help you, boss! We're trying to help you, boss!
What's our location?
Get down here with the rifle. Tell him to move those people in the back and we're gonna crossfire. Hey, Chip, get them out of there! There's people back there! Chip, there's civilians over there by the house. By the trailer. Tell them to move. Sir, get out of the way! Sir, put your hands on the roof! Put your fucking hands on the roof!
Pepper ball gun? I'm holding your shield, brother.
I got a rifle. Fucking get one up here and start pumping it. Show me your hands. Leave them on the roof of the truck.
You want a taser on?
Gun!
Oh, I forgot that wasn't a loaded video. Let me go back here. Okay, Big Ron, what do you think?
100% justified, and hopefully the officer that we saw hit the ground was okay.
That he was shot in the head. Okay, let's go to Vet. What do you think?
I think the same thing.
Bip says cops swore in public, charged him with disorderly conduct. Someone has to be offended and be the complainant for that. And they could. B's opinion is, yeah.
Hey,
The end
Joe,
happens
I
real
can't
fast.
hear anybody else. I don't know if it's my phone, but yeah, justified and my condolences to that officer's family and yeah, that's shitty.
Can you hear me, Vet? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
No,
I got
I'm
you, Joe.
listening. I'm listening to this on my phone, and StreamYard sucks on the phone, but I'm
It does.
watching it on my laptop and on X, so I'm keeping up with it. I'm just delayed, so
No
sorry about
worries.
that.
No worries at all. Where we at? We're at Bruce.
Yeah, I'm a no-bill on this, definitely. That guy seemed really out of it, and I was honestly surprised they waited as long as they did. Like, he made several movements looking like he was reaching down or reaching around. Like the moment he reached in that back seat, seems like. I don't know. I think they were more patient than they should have been. But yeah, definitely no bill and horrible what
Tell
happened.
you what, let's look at what the background is. It's happened in Illinois, September 1st this year. It was an alleged kidnapping in progress regarding the vehicle driven by the suspect, 37-year-old Andrew Rosales of Ascom, Illinois. Rosales' vehicle was identified in rural Iroquois County, and officers at the scene tried to stop the vehicles and attempted to stop Rosales' vehicle in a rural Iroquois County, but he fled, crossing into Indiana back into Illinois, where he collided with another vehicle. The situation escalated when law enforcement surrounded his vehicle, repeatedly instructing him to show his hands. We saw that. Reports indicated that Rosales ignored the commands. We did see that. Pulled a revolver, shot and struck County Deputy Corporal Brandon Schreiber in the head. In response, the deputy county's return fire hitting Rosales in the head, leading to his death. On the scene, no hostage was in the car. Schreiber was taken to the hospital, where he died 10 days later. So the deputy died as well. Okay, Fidji, what'd you think?
No bill, and I'm kind of glad the guy's dead.
Okay.
Sorry to that family, yeah.
By BIP, I don't know why I keep on. Actually, I do know I want to keep calling you bipolar, but that's not what it says. BIP Solar Pair says he would bill them if they could have retreated to a safer position and waited for it. Let me ask, do officers have a duty to retreat or not retreat? He also says they were not patient enough. I don't know how patient they have to be. In fact, if anybody's got to shed some light on that, I'd love to hear it.
Doesn't the duty to retreat depend on the jurisdiction, Joe? Some jurisdictions have the duty can retreat, but others don't.
I don't know of a state that doesn't actually apply the duty a duty not to retreat to police officers. Think about it. I mean, it's against cowardness that you would run away. You have a duty to keep the peace, enforce the law, and you don't give ground to do that. You have a duty not to do that. But let's go to I think Fiji's got mic problems or something. Let's go to TC.
I think all the ground factors applied here. They met the burden under gram factors, and exigent circumstances apply. They did not know whether or not there was a hostage or victim in the car already. So, yeah, I don't think they could retreat in good conscience. So, this would be a no bill.
Okay.
Joe, can you not hear me?
No, ma'am. I'm not the only one. No one could hear you. I'm getting hate mail because I think I cut your mic off.
Oh, yeah, I was definitely a no bill. I was saying I was glad the guy was dead.
Oh, you did? No, yeah, my bad. You did say.
Yeah, we heard that.
Yeah,
Okay.
my bad.
You know what? I recall it now as well. Thanks, Fidji, for saying that to us again.
Well, thank you for forgiving me like that. It's something I said.
and the hate mail will begin, I promise you. John Cox, North Carolina. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a no bill. I mean, he fired the first shot, so.
Okay. Jason?
It's a no bill, but this is a great training video. If I don't mean to go, that's my dog. I heard less lethal. I heard pepper ball, and they stood there and they I would have, if you had less lethal there and you had pepper ball, my dog's talking
I'm
as well.
pretty sure that you have a hostage in the backseat of your car. I'm calling
Jason, that ain't no dog, Jason.
Do you have a husky?
No, that's a 140-pound German Shepherd that's looking at me.
I was gonna say, leave your wife alone, Jason.
No, that's not nice. Anyway.
No, it sounds like somebody moaning.
Oh my God, John, shut up. No, I heard pepper ball, and that was my immediate thought there when you're standing and giving those verbal orders, and the way he's moving around in there, they should have flooded that car with pepper balls, or they had an opportunity to not use lethal force, and it's a no bill, but looking at it from a police perspective, hindsight 2020, they were more than justified to just spray the shit out of that car, and maybe that officer is still alive right now. So I'm looking at this more from a police training point of view, and no bill whatsoever. And retreating, I want to comment on the retreating thing. I've talked about this before. It's the priorities of life, and this guy, the way he was driving and the way he's moving that car, police officers are there to protect the public. And if this guy gets away, are we putting a threat to innocent? And innocent is the number one priority of life. So they cannot retreat at that point, in my opinion, based upon his driving, his non-responsive, his moving around the vehicle. I'll end it there, but no, well, sorry for rambling a little bit.
I like the analysis. It gives me civilians some context.
I've got a question, Jason. You said spray the car. You meant they should have gone lethal sooner?
No, I think they had an opportunity to go less lethal. In the video, if you watch it, somebody said pepper balls here. They should have sprayed the shit out of that.
Yeah, they talked about beanbag and pepper ball. They talked about less lethal.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is if they had it there, use it. I'm not saying that justified the shooting because it was on his actions. I'm just saying that maybe if they would have been more aggressive with less lethal first, because he's moving around, not complying with commands, more than justified to pepper ball that car, or even just pepper spray in there and disable him. Maybe it doesn't end that way. So again, I'm not ripping on what they did. I'm just saying, moving forward, I think police officers need to not wait so long to use some level of force to control the scene.
Well, yeah, and I'm the opposite of Bip. I'm with you, Jason. I think they should have acted a lot sooner, because there's one point in the video where it looked like you leaned over to the passenger seat to grab something. There's one point where it looked like you leaned down to grab something under his seat. And then finally he turns around and looks like he grabbed something from the back of the seat after they said, "Is that a long gun?" in the vehicle. Like, they should have been, on him much sooner, at least it seems like to me.
No, I agree. I think they were probably warranted to go lethal sooner than they did, and that could have some force. I agree with Jason. Some force could have prevented the death of the officer. I don't know if you could have prevented the death of the suspect. That's kind of up to the suspect. When it comes to backing off, safe distance, and talking them through it, even if there wasn't a hostage in the vehicle, I don't believe that guy was going to come to any reason. I think the outcome was going to be him being aired out. The sad part is that a deputy who was just going to work also lost his life. But give me just a moment. We'll get the next video up. I'm working on pulling it. I'm having some. If I can have computer issues today, today is the day, I promise you.
Well, at least you're back to better internet, aren't you?
Well, I thought I was.
I think my dog said no bill as well, by the way.
That's what I heard.
Your dog was saying, "Help, I'm being kidnapped." Help, help.
Probably a good thing that you're having all your problems tonight, because the viewership is like way down. Normally the chat's on fire by now.
Yeah, it is. Well, we're doing
Thanks
a little later, too.
I'm just Bip's doing his best to cause a commotion and like there's just nothing going on. What did you like? Did you alienate a bunch of people this last week and a half? What'd you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Man, I've been so busy since August. Really, I haven't put any time into this. So there hadn't been
I know.
any promotion really, and I missed last week. So why would anybody show up this week? I didn't do it last week. What makes them think I'm going to do it this week?
Oh gosh, trust me. It's, being my own content creator, I know you kind of get to the point where you like, if you miss a day, people are messaging you. What the hell's going on? You okay over there?
Yeah, right. But I'm back at it. Time's freed up for me, so I'm going to put a
Should we
little
say
more.
we're glad that you're not busy? Because that's not good either.
What?
Should we say we're glad that you're not busy? Because that can't be good for business either.
Oh no! You're right. I'm trying to get this next video loaded here, and I think I've got it.
It'd been cool to have a team that could have kept stuff going for you while you were busy, but you know. Oh wait, I didn't say that.
Man, it's all good.
LT just
We're going
put
to
your
be back at
buttons
it, and
tonight.
I'm going to try to bring some fresher stuff to this. Okay, I think I got this ready to go. Let's go to this next video.
Hi, man. I'm Officer Lou.
She said no.
Well, that was rude.
Nah.
Oh, I've seen this one. This is nuts.
Don't ruin it if you've seen it. And was it a noise complaint?
How are you?
No, Jesus Christ. Back up! No! Back up!
She didn't need
Back up! Hey, man. I got nothing to do. Please back up. Back up! Back up! Back up! Back up!
Damn.
531 bubble. Single one. Shots fired.
What is your location?
322. Apartment 322. 11830. Sunrise Valley.
He's in shock.
Start medic, please. The suspect's down.
Yeah, from the photo, it looks like you got pretty good to the face.
I need medical too.
I'm just saying, after the first slash, he should have opened fire. There should have been no put the knife down.
Oh, absolutely.
About 21 Bravo, show me a route to that. Trap. 531 Bravo.
Five sit on Bravo.
Are you all inside the apartment still?
No, I'm in the hallway.
Yeah. To answer your question, Joe, I've seen this on a few different places. Act of self-protection and Donut Operator did a video on it. Yeah, dude should have fired after first slash. Should have never got that close. 21-foot rule.
Yeah, it was all over X.
Well, I tell you what, it's real difficult to say when somebody needs to pull the trigger and take another person's life.
Man, you okay?
Anybody know
Not
what
when
the
it's your
initial call
life,
was?
man.
531 Bravo. I need med kit, please.
What was the initial call for?
I'm not sure.
Didn't he say it was like disturbance or something right at the beginning?
It could be a noise complaint that music or television is coming out of her apartment.
Just, can you get the ambulance and other officer to come here. They en route. Just make sure they come in the right directions.
It was a welfare check, I thought, or something like that. But,
just make sure they come up on the right
what does it say
elevator.
about me, the fact that I would have shot instantly and not thought about her life, but thought of my own in that situation? Does it make me, like, sick or something?
SOD1 on channel 5. Yeah. Do we have anybody else standing? Negative. Are they camera? Check.
Assert 4, 322.
He's fading.
Yeah, y'all pay attention to this time, how long it takes police to get to a bad situation.
Yeah, he's fading.
That's in Fairfax County. What 24/7 traffic?
How he?
I'm just lightheaded.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just lightheaded.
No, he's not okay.
I'm losing
Do
all
you
the
have any
blood.
other injuries?
I don't know.
I don't have any results.
Your partner's laying there dying, and they're working on her.
I was
He's definitely in trouble. I'm gonna just right out of the gate. I have one critique.
Do you have any injuries on you?
I'm nothing but respect for that particular officer in the moment after that, the way he stayed in the fight.
Well, Bip
Was that the night she had?
complained that the cut
Okay.
officer wasn't administering first aid to the woman that was shot.
Once again, you're not cut anywhere.
Bip's a bit of a smart ass at times. Trust me. he
Where
does
is she
it to me.
shot?
Ooh, Bip, watch your mouth. Don't talk about our guest that way. Bip is a gentleman.
Yeah, I talk about him like that all the time.
I like Bip.
Good job.
Bip's a good man. He's solid.
I sound like a cut somewhere in the head.
$10 to anybody that can say that guy's name the right way.
Okay.
I just lightheaded.
Okay. Do you have an injury to your head?
I think she cut me in the head.
I'm sorry?
I think she cut me in the head.
She cut you in the head?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Slash, dude. Chill out. Give me an ambulance.
Rescue over here just a second.
Yeah, like how the detective or whatever is saying, like, wait, you're saying you're injured in the head? Well, he's just pouring.
He's got blood streaming down his face.
Okay, Tina's called for fire department. They're asking again.
Yes, he is full. Please help me come back.
Okay, we did advise them if they're, you guys on interest at all.
Oh, they got zero care for this dude.
Let's move it now. There's nowhere to go. He's injured, so let's come right in. Okay.
What's up with the freaking pasty face guy over there coughing like he's gonna throw up?
Well, let's see.
He'll have eyes looking mother.
Speaking of rendering aid, I'm surprised no one's rendering the officer aid.
I think he got cut with a knife.
You talking about the captain here?
Yeah.
They're gonna take care of you.
Yeah, the only thing he can get out is reassure the victim.
You're good. Yeah, they should be coming up. They should know to come. Sorry? Yeah, you are. Yes, sir.
No one's ever cleared the apartment.
Joe, Bit wants to give you a super chat. You got to get yourself monetized.
For those of you that want to do that, I just posted a link in Twitter and X for you guys to buy Joe a cup of coffee. Feel free.
He's injured. I think.
What is
No one seems to be in much of a rush, do they?
I just feel like it's a clown show.
But they're not in a rush to help this officer who's bleeding from his head. What is a super chat?
That's when
So you get-
people on YouTube can give you money. YouTube, I think, takes 30%, and the rest goes to you.
Buy me a coffee is actually better. They don't take so much from it.
Where is she shot? One right here, right there. Give me 2 needle darts.
And I think the bar to get monetized is like 1,000 subscribers, and
No, it's 500 now.
500. And then how many watch hours is it?
1,000.
Okay.
Where at? So, no, the orange bag. Orange bag. Tan looking things? Yeah.
I
Bip
noticed
wants
the
to
same
super
thing,
chat-
B.
That's on your forehead?
Bip wants to super chat you because you said something nice about him. That's good.
I say something nice about everyone, but Bip is a loyal listener. He participates when he comes in here. I always call him Bipolar Bear, but
Well, I mean,
Bip
it's not inaccurate.
Yeah, I gathered that.
I'm going to hear about this via messenger later.
Well, if Bip has X, we'd love to have him join the after party.
Yeah, for sure.
Is your hand hurt too? No. Okay.
I think we just did into some medical stuff, and this guy's eventually going to get a Little Mermaid Band-Aid, get back on
I
back
mean,
to duty.
in the interest of transparency, the calmness of the medical response is what you need in that moment. And
Man, I wouldn't ask anybody to start screaming and crying, but
No, but I mean,
help that dude out who's losing consciousness because he's lost of
Yeah.
blood from a head wound.
that I agree with, but like with the medical response, it's not a lot they can do for him until they get somebody that's actually got some decent bandages and stuff there. So
I tell you
Well,
what,
but even when the
let's check out
EMS
the. Y'all see what it says there?
It's
Fairfax
just-
County, Virginia, Monday, September 16th, approximately 10:17 a.m. An officer responded to a residence in whatever 100 block of wherever for a welfare check. The Fairfax Police Department received a request for a mental health professional to conduct a welfare check on a 23 or 33-year-old woman who reported to be in an agitated state. And they sent this officer there. What do you think that would have happened if that'd been a social worker with a clipboard?
Oh, all the problems would have been solved instantly.
well, I don't.
She would have said magic weapon, magic words, and the lady would have calmed down.
I don't necessarily think that it would have gone worse, or even it may have gone better if it had not been an officer. I don't know that. My only critique of the officer is when she answered the door and then shut the door and said no. I think he could have ended contact at that point. That's my only critique. I'm not saying that what happened to him is just.
What does that mean? What does that mean? Ended contact.
He made contact with her. She said no and shut the door. He could have gotten back to dispatch and said, "I made contact. She's alive. She didn't want to talk. I'm leaving." End call.
But how do you know she was the caller?
We don't know that she was a caller. It was a
Right,
welfare
that's-
check. It was a welfare
right.
check. It was a
Right.
welfare
I've been
check.
on welfare checks before where the person come to the door and said everything was fine. That wasn't a person that called for help, and it was a domestic. You can't.
But it wasn't reported as a domestic.
That's my point. That's what I said. We went on a welfare check, and it ended up being a domestic. The person who came to the door said everything was fine. They were not the one who called.
Well, let me say this: she comes to the door and then she shuts the door in the officer's face. What's he going to report? I saw her. She was alive. That's about all he could say.
Right. And call. There was no exigent circumstance.
So
in
what
that
what would you say if she'd gone in there and slit her wrist and killed herself, and there was a welfare check, an hour before that? What would we say to the police officers then?
They're totally defensible position. You can't. There's no exigent circumstance in that moment, at all.
But would it be a deliberate indifference?
Not at all. Deliberate indifference is welfare check, and you just say, "Fuck it, I'm not showing up."
Or fuck it, she shut the door in my face and I'm out of here.
Not at all. It's like a perfectly justifiable response to say, "I made contact. She said no. Shut the door and call."
But is someone shutting the door in your face evidence that she's doing fine?
You show up at my house and I don't know why you're there. Even if you see you're there for a welfare check, I'm shutting the door. I'm not talking to you.
Well, but what if it was, for instance, your wife that called the welfare check and you're like, "I'm fine," slam the door? Like, doesn't the officer have the duty to...
Not obligated to talk to you.
But that's my point. How do you know she was the one that called?
I tell you
We
what.
don't know that.
Let's go back and
you
watch
are.
that. Let's watch that interaction once more.
FYI, the reason why the officer responded to the welfare check and not an individual, plain clothes, is because they were doing another welfare check somewhere else.
Okay. Let's watch the first knock on the door.
Hi, man. I'm Officer Lou.
She said, "Hold on a second."
No, she said, "I can't talk right now," or something like that.
Yeah,
that there is more than enough reasonable suspicion from the police officer to want to stay there. She said she can't talk right now because then you'd think she might have somebody locked in there with her, stopping her from talking to authorities.
Hi, man. I'm Officer Lou.
I think she says 1 second.
Yeah,
that sounded to me like I can't talk right now.
I can't do
I'm
this
Officer
right
Lou.
Joe, can you turn subtitles on? Click the CC button, see if that helps. We can see
Man,
what she says.
I'm Officer.
Boy, that's pretty technical. Let me see if I can do that.
Right next to the gear.
Yeah, it sounded like she said, "I can't talk."
Lou.
Yeah, that wasn't helpful.
Yeah, now we know his name is Salute and not Lou.
I'm Salute.
Hi, man. I'm Officer Lou.
It's I can't talk.
Like sales or something.
So okay. So if she says, "I can't talk right now," or she says, "Give me a second," you still say that that officer, once the door was shut, should have said, "Okay, show me clear with the 3."
At this point, you have no reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime being committed. It was a welfare check, not a crime, not a call for a domestic. You have no exigent circumstances to enter that apartment, and you don't have a warrant.
Okay.
So you end contact. It's consensual contact. She chose not to have consensual contact. Doesn't justify what she did when he knocked again. Not saying he was wrong in showing humanity and checking again.
No, hold up.
Everything
hold
that
up. We're
played
not
out
talking
after
about
that.
humanity. We're not talking about humanity emotions. We're talking the law. If he didn't have legal authority, the consensual contact was over when she shuts the door. He did not have legal authority to have contact with her again. Once a person says, "No, I don't want this this consensual contact," you can't keep pursuing it. You can't talk them into it. So I would say,
you can try.
Then this would
try,
be
but you can try.
No, legally you can't. If look at like a consensual search, that's one of the things about it is I can't talk you into it. I can't. A lot of officers used to say, "Well, if you don't give me consent, it's just take a long time. I'm going to get a warrant anyway." You can't do that. That's under duress.
Well, and I think he had every justification to break contact at that moment, and would have been perfectly protected. Qualified immunity would have applied if she ended up taking her own life afterwards. I'm not.
So did he have legal
happened.
authority to? Are you saying that he had legal authority to remain there after she shut the door the first time?
I don't think he did. No.
then if he did not, then this would not be a good shoot. You can't have a good shoot when you're standing on bad ground as a police officer. So this would be an indictment for you.
It would be, yeah. Well, if we're going to go that direction, then yeah, I don't think he had a.
Well, tell me, friend, what other direction do you go? That's one of the things you have to maintain. Did you have legal, as a police officer? Did you have legal authority to
The
be there?
second attempt at contact is what created the second attempt at contact is what created the use of force situation. He had justifiable grounds to end contact and not try to make contact the second time.
Okay, so he did not have authority or grounds to make contact that second time.
He didn't have an obligation to make contact.
We're not talking obligations. We're talking duties. And as law enforcement, you have duties and you have the law.
Are you asking me to blame him for being wounded?
No, I'm not asking to blame him. I'm saying legally, did he have authority to knock on the door the second time? I didn't bring it up. You did. You said once the door was shut, he should have left.
No, he didn't. He did not have legal authority to make contact the second time.
Then that would make it an unlawful shoot, would it not?
No, I think the shoot.
If or not, let's go to the legal term. If or not,
the shoot is lawful because he didn't invite the assault. Knocking on the door did not invite an assault.
But if not for the knock on the door the second time, then it wouldn't have occurred. Because that's what you're saying, right?
No.
So where yet? So you're no billing this, but saying that he didn't have the authority to knock on the door the second time. Is that what you're saying?
He didn't have an obligation.
He has no obligation at all. He can quit his job and go home. There's no obligation. There's a duty.
Okay, he didn't have a duty. He did not have a duty to maintain to attempt second contact.
Did he have a duty to leave when she shut the door the first time? Okay, let me change the example. I'm doing a knocking talk. I have no warrant. I'm knocking on the door and I'm saying TC. I'm Police Joe. There's been some activities of or reported activity of narcotics or maybe some drug trafficking in and out of your house. We don't really believe it, and this is kind of the way we handle it. We're knocking on the door today, kind of just talk to you. Mind if I come in? I don't want your business out on the street. You say yes, I can come in. You say no and shut the door in my face, then I have a duty to leave. I don't have a duty. I have no obligation. I have no authority to knock on the door again and try to convince you otherwise. Because the fruits of a poisonous tree, everything that's done after that point would be unlawful. So take that in this situation. If you're saying that he had a duty to leave when she shut the door the first time, but yet he continues to persist and knocks on the door, then anything that happens after that is going to be unlawful on the police officer's point. Because if he wasn't there, if for not his presence, it wouldn't have happened.
Well, yeah, then bill him.
Okay, so we got a bill out of that. What do you think, Fidji?
No, I don't think a bill. And the reason why is because if what she said was 1 sec, then he didn't know what she was doing at that point, right? And he's on a welfare check. For all he knows, she's a lunatic. And well, kind of that happened. So I could see him knocking on the door to be like, he'd bring her attention back to the door to stop her from getting whatever the hell she might be getting, right? So I'm going to say no bill.
But then you would have to that would give him exigent circumstances to enter the building without a warrant.
He doesn't need a warrant to. He doesn't need a warrant to answer a call for service at an apartment.
No, but what Fidji is saying is he had an obligation, basically, or duty, to stay there because he didn't know what she was doing inside the apartment.
Right, and he's there on a welfare check.
Right, and he made contact with her, and it ended.
But if she said 1 sec, then
no, she didn't. She said, I can't talk right now.
Joe said in his example, if she said, and I didn't hear that, what I heard was, I can't do this right now. And that's what I heard. But in his example, he said, if she said this or 1 sec, and the second time I heard it, I kind of thought, well, it could be shorter than what I'm thinking. So I'm still going with no bill. If someone says 1 sec to me, that's an indicator that I'm to hold on, that they're coming back, right? But if she goes away, he's on a welfare check. He doesn't know if she's crazy or not. That could be why. What was it? She was acting erratic. Is that what it was, Joe? Or were we guessing at
She was in an irritated state, mentally ill in an irritated state. Roger brings up a good point. Did he actually have a duty to show up and make the contact in the first place?
If it's a welfare check.
Is there a duty if somebody calls and asks for a welfare check? Is there a duty by the law enforcement to go and answer that call for service?
I say no.
Okay. Big Ron, what do you think about this?
Like I said earlier, as soon as she slashed at him the first time, I would have shot. She sounded like to me, she said, I can't talk and shut the door. That would have, if I was a police officer, raised my suspicion that somebody could have been in there stopping her from talking. So this whole thing in my manner is justified 100%.
Okay. No issues with the second knock on the door. That did the officer lose his legal authority to stand there and knock on the door for the second time?
Yeah, he had in my mind, he had reasonable suspicion. When she said, I can't talk and shut the door, at least that's what I heard. When she said, I can't talk and shut the door, that would have raised reasonable suspicion that somebody could have been in the house with her, stopping her from being able to talk to somebody outside. It rolls under the same principle as pulling a phone out of a wall or stopping somebody from calling the police when something's going on. It was 100% justified.
So then that would have given him exigent circumstances to enter the building or enter the apartment.
But he didn't enter the apartment.
But that's instead of knocking. I mean, if we're going to use, he has a reasonable suspicion in that moment that there's something more drastic going on, then why not just blow through that door if it's that big of a deal?
There's a tactical question. I think Jason's probably going to bring that up. I've been holding it for him about that first interaction. But Big Ron, you saying that he had legal authority to knock on the door both times, and therefore everything that happened beyond that was self-defense and therefore a justifiable homicide.
100%. Personal responsibility.
Okay. Let's go to Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, definitely no, Bill. Like all this hang up on, did he have the right to knock a second time? Like it's splitting hairs, I think. Like he was called for a welfare check. He went to do the welfare check. She opened the door, basically told him to bug off, slammed the door in his face. He hadn't completed the welfare check, so he still had a job to do. He knocked again, and then she assaulted him. So, yeah, no, absolutely justified. No, Bill.
When is a welfare check complete?
Once you've determined that they are well and that there's no issue.
How do you know whether or not they're well?
Who?
I don't know the legal definition, but I'd imagine once you determine that the person who called in is well.
Who?
How does a cop determine when somebody's well or not well?
Well, I would assume breathing.
Would you like for me to explain that?
Yes, please.
It's not hard. You knock on the door. If it's for Susie May, Susie May is told other people that she wants to harm herself, or she's in a highly irritated state. There could be some mental issues going on. So you knock on the door and you ask for her. And when she gets there, typically, if you got some ID, I'd just like to identify you and talk to you for a minute. How you
Are
feeling?
you obligated to ID?
Say again.
Are you obligated to ID?
Thank you, Joe. So yeah, you answered Mike. So he had not completed the welfare check. He didn't know who answered the door. Like she could have been a lunatic holding someone hostage. Like so, his welfare check was not complete. He had every right to continue that.
There's no crime. There's no crime.
Well, she committed a crime, but yeah,
no, she didn't. She did not commit a crime at that point.
And he did not either by knocking on the door.
But how did he know who she was?
He doesn't have a right to know who she is. He doesn't have a duty to know who she is.
If he's conducting a welfare check.
What's the crime?
There's no crime.
Right. So what's the duty to ID? Where's the obligation to ID?
Hold on. There's no crime in continuing your welfare check. There was no crime in her slamming the door.
Right.
So he had every right to continue that interaction. The crime happened when she opened the door and attacked him.
I didn't dispute that. I'm disputing that he had the authority to ID her.
Let me
He had
pause
no
you for a
authority
second.
to ID
See,
her.
let me throw something else in there on top of it to complicate things. So, and I'm sure in this state, like it is in my state, the state has the ability, and law enforcement officers have the authority to. We call it a white warrant here. Different states call it something different, which is that if you can articulate one is a danger to themselves or others for mental issues, then you can commit them to a 70. You can take them into custody. You can remove them from freedom. You can do it by force. You can put handcuffs on them, and you're absolutely going to ID them. And that's the way it is in Texas. And I'm pretty sure it's like that in every state. That's where you hear people that hold you for 72 hours. That's what it is. It's a mental evaluation. And you can be committed by your actions that a police officer can articulate that just your danger to yourself or others, or even by your verbal utterance. Go back to a welfare check when I'm talking with Miss Susie May. You feel like you're going to hurt yourself? No, I feel like I'm good. I'm just having a bad day, whatever. Okay, well, thank you, ma'am. You have a nice day. Hope things get better, and you're gone.
Is
She says,
Susie May
"Oh, no,
obligated? Is Susie May obligated to take part in that conversation?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't have to say. She doesn't have to say a word. But if I get anything that's articulable, then I might hook her up and take her in on a 72-hour hold because I have the authority as a police officer to do that.
But there's nothing. There's nothing indicative in that moment.
Okay,
TC,
you know what? You're right. No one has the obligation to give their identification to the government, and it doesn't happen a million times a day.
But TC, wouldn't you say that that officer in that moment has the obligation to make sure that that is Susie May answering the door, that it is the person who made the call that is answering the door?
No.
Okay, so you're saying
people need to understand. People need to understand that if I can pick up the phone in the state of Minnesota, and I could be beefing with my brother right now, and I can call in the state of Minnesota and say, I have reason to believe that my brother is a danger to himself and others. Here is his address. And in law enforcement under ERPO laws, which is really what welfare checks are the premise of ERPO, can show up.
Let's not use an acronym.
Red flag.
But welfare checks and mental holds have been around a long time before red flag law.
Right, but
so TC, just to get it clear, so you're saying there's a crazy person in the house threatening people. Someone gets a hold of the phone, makes a call, like, we need a welfare check. The crazy person answers the door, says, I can't talk, slams the door. That officer has no obligation to help the person who made the call. Not obligation. The officer has no duty to help the person who made the call. Like, just trust the crazy person's word.
You don't even know that person's crazy. That's what I'm getting at.
Probably check that out, right?
But that's why we don't send judges to answer these calls. We send
But
police
how
officers.
do you know? Just because
How do you know what I'm going to say if you talk over the top of me? How do you know what I'm going to say? My point is that that's not the standard. Is what we know when we get there. It's part of an investigation. And I do say this: that anytime a police officer has the authority to talk to you that's not consensual, you're going to be required ID. If you don't have the ability to leave, if it's constructive custody, which it is when you're doing a welfare check, and Bruce is absolutely right. You're going to identify the person that's the welfare check. What if it's a child and the mother comes to the door and says, "No, everything's good. You have no authority to ask me anything," and shuts the door in your face.
Let what you're saying sink in right now. Anybody can call and say, we need a welfare check. You could show up at my house right now, knock on the door, and I can say, I don't want to talk to you, and shut the door. And you can demand that I allow you access and give you my ID.
Okay. Well, so it's a benefit, risk benefit analysis. Let's say someone has a chip on their shoulder. They do that. Worst thing that happens is you ID yourself. That's what happens.
No, I refuse to ID.
In your case.
I refuse to ID.
So let's say you comply. The worst thing that what happens to you is you have to ID yourself. The worst thing that could happen in the worst case scenario is someone dies because the officer doesn't do his duty. So what is it harder for you to produce an ID, or do you think it's better that someone dies because you don't want to produce an ID?
That's actually that's an asinine scenario.
No, because
Hell
that's what
no.
we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. That's what that officer was faced with.
That officer did his due diligence in the sense that he showed up to that welfare check. She said, "I don't want contact with you," is what she basically said. That was a consensual contact.
I don't think we know what she said. I think she said, "Hold on a sec," but I'm not sure of that. That's what I'm hearing when I listen to it, but I don't know if we know what she said. But I tell you what, let's move on.
Well, if she said, "Hold on a sec," then why knock on the door?
You know what? It doesn't matter what it is. Your stance is that if the police come to your door and knock on it and say, "I've been called to this residence for a call for service," that you can tell them to F off. And that may work in certain situations. But the moment that you hit articulable, in other words, something about that an officer can articulate on paper, then those circumstances could change. Well, let's go to Jason. Well, I think we lost
Jason dropped out.
Yeah.
While we wait for Jason to come back, also, welfare checks are not just for go check out if someone's crazy. Welfare checks are also used to check on the elderly. You know, they don't have family close by or something of that, or the family doesn't know who the neighbors are. You know, welfare checks are used in that case too. And in that case, what if the elderly person has Alzheimer's or something? They need to go in and make sure and assess that they're okay to be on their own. So, I mean, there are other reasons for welfare checks, but most of them would include some kind of ID or investigation.
He had no authority to ID her. None. There was no crime.
That's okay. Let's tap the
Am I-
pedal there.
am I back?
Jason, go ahead. Yeah, you're back, Jason. I'd like your opinion on this before we move to the next video.
I'm actually biting my tongue on this one. I can't tell you how many check the welfare calls I've been to. With that being said, I can't tell you how many check the welfare calls has turned into domestics, homicides, suicidal calls. It's a very broad term. So if an officer gets a call, typically I would say about 99% of the time, a check the welfare call is not being called in from the person to be checked on. So if this officer is responding to this call for a check the welfare and this door slams, and most normal people, based on my experience, when they open a door and an officer's there, the person will say something like, "What's going on? Is there a problem here?" But when this gal slams the door, okay, my concern right now is just because it's a check the welfare and you can take, I need to ID you and all other crap and stick it to the side. Right now, I'm wondering who else is in this room? What's going on here? Because a domestic, a medical, I've had medicals turn into knockdown, drag out stabbings just because the title of a call says you have to do A, B, and C. That title of a call can change from a mental health checkup to a massive assault, and you just can't walk away. So
then you have exigent circumstances to go through that door without a warrant.
But TC, no, you don't.
No, I don't
Is
think
it a consensual stop?
Okay.
Or is it a consensual? Is it a consensual conversation at that point?
What does that matter? I'm there to make sure everybody's safe.
It's an investigation.
So
It's an investigation. You're subject to the investigation. You can be ID'd.
What's your reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime?
The original
fact
call for
that,
service.
oh my God, TC.
No, not oh my God. God damn it. This is an important conversation, and I don't care how many years experience you have. This is the kind of bullshit that causes people to have problems.
I'm not sure why you're yelling at me. I'm just telling you, you should care about how much experience I've had. I don't know how many calls you've gone to. I mean, you're talking about experience. I've been there. I've lived this. And what I'm trying to tell you is that just because there's a title of a call doesn't mean that's the actual call. You're assuming that it's a check the welfare. They come to the door. Hey, I'm here. I'm okay. Don't knock again. I can leave now. But there's a lot of what ifs here.
Do I have to say that on a welfare check? Am I even obligated to answer the door?
No.
Okay.
No, you're not.
So when I shut the door, do you have the authority to demand that I come back?
Here's the thing you're missing out, TC. You're taking, looking at it black and white. In these type of situations, with almost everything that a law enforcement officer deals with, it's the totality of the circumstances. You'll go back, and I can play the video again. Her demeanor was not normal, what you would expect when police show up at your door. You know,
She was nicer than I would have been if you would have shown up at my door uninvited.
you know what? I just don't know what to say to you. It doesn't
not
matter
sure.
what we say. You're going to come back and say that you have no obligation to identify yourself with law enforcement under these black and white circumstances. When I say it's the totality of it, and I say this again: if he'd left without knocking on the door the second time, and she'd cut a jugular in there and bled to death, there'd be a lawsuit on the city, and it would be they would try to claim deliberate indifference. You didn't care about her because she was black, is what the case would have been.
And
you
they're
I
saying
both
that he
know
shot her because she was black. That, like, damned if you do and damned if you don't. But you have an absolute defense in policy and procedure, and according to the Constitution, that at the end of the consensual contact, he had done his due diligence in that respect. He made contact with the person who lived there, as far as he knows. You can't. He had no exigent circumstances,
Okay,
and he had no reason to go through that door.
I'm just gonna, TC, you're going down a path here that is not reality. That's all I'm saying. You have.
I'm going down the constitutional path.
Can I?
You're TC.
Can
You're
I
also
actually
setting
finish
up
a sentence
an-
for Christ's sakes?
Sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
So you're going down a path here that is not in reality. And what I'm saying by reality, and I appreciate the fact you don't care about how much experience I've had, because I think experience, training, and all that stuff actually comes up in court. And what I'm trying to say is I've been to multiple welfare checks that turned out to be really, really bad. So how do I go to a call that's another welfare check and they just slam the door and her behavior is not normal from a reasonable person? That's not what a normal person does when an officer knocks on their door. Slams the door and I just walk away. I don't know if there's an incident there. I don't know what the hell's going on in there. I got called here. I didn't want to come here. Somebody called me here. Who called me? So maybe the welfare check wasn't on the person we're called for. Maybe the welfare check is somebody else in the house. There's a lot of unknowns here. To just walk away, and somebody gets hurt, I'm done. So
So then
TC,
that's what I'm asking. Do
TC,
you
you're
have the
also
authority in that moment to go through that door because you now believe there's exigent circumstances?
TC, you're painting a story that didn't happen. You're saying he had no right to go through that door. He never did that. He knocked on the door. He never broke down the door. He didn't charge into her boat. He charged out at him. So
hey,
if you're
TC,
saying
you
he
got to
doesn't
stop
have
talking
the
over
right to
folks, man. It's like every third word you're just talking over them, and it's not a fun conversation to listen to.
Yeah, I was about done. He didn't go through a door. If you're saying an officer doesn't have the right to knock on someone's door, well, that's one argument. But you're conflating it with him barging through her door. That's not reality.
No.
Let's get to the next video.
That's not what I did. I said if an officer stays on
Next
scene
video.
in that moment,
Oh, look, it's
if
already
the officer stays on scene in that moment because he believes there's something going on behind the door, he has exigent circumstances. That's what I said.
Hey, you guys just want this guy to trespass? Okay.
Where's this kid?
I'm saying that's the guy that's right there with the backwards hat on. Yep. What's he gonna say if we go talk to him? He was. You can watch the video. He was standing right outside of the door. He pushed me inside the store, and then he was telling me, "Get out, get out." You know, I'm saying, I'm not going out there. There's other people. Alleging he assaulted you. Do you want him to go to jail? Yes. He said, put his hands on me. I felt violent, and he was pushing me outside the door, and he was standing outside the door opening. Saying,
That dude.
Why didn't you wait here first?
The black guy?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, stop where you're at. Have a seat. Tase him.
Get your hands behind your back. Get your hands behind your back. Get your hands behind your back, asshole. Get your hands behind your back. Hold them. Move. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. All 3 X-ray taser, deploy more units. Hand behind your back. Hand behind your back. Get more. Hand behind your back. More. Hand behind your back. Hand behind your back. Hand behind your back. Now. Hand behind your back. Go through X-ray, getting him in the cuffs now. Full fire. I think I broke my hand. Did he bite you? Taser deployed. And yeah, this over at assault. That's about it. Stand by.
Well, he took some rides on the Zeus's chariot there.
Search. Other side. Hi. I'm good now, thanks.
UPS driver just walking by in the background like you see that every day.
Hey, get up. Stand up. He is, but he's in cuffs. He's not being combative. He just doesn't want to go in the car.
My husband, he was on the phone with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's under arrest for assault on a police officer.
What happened?
He assaulted somebody at the Circle K. You can wait over there. I'll tell you right about it. In a little bit. Okay.
Well, he did now.
Look. Unlock your car, bro. What kind of disabilities do you have?
Have someone get a rip out here.
Okay.
We gonna tell you
How is he deaf if you've been on the phone?
Because I show sign language, that's why. I signed to him.
Disability. What kind of medical conditions you got, man?
You got been messing with him for no reason.
You got back?
I've been on the phone with him since Circle K.
Okay.
You guys went in there because some guy was fucking with him at Circle K. And you guys arrested him? I've been on the phone with him the whole time.
Look. Someone bit me. What?
Career safety. This parking lot is being recorded.
Oh, man.
You broke your hand?
I don't know. Kind of feels funny, and my knuckles now smaller. Okay. No.
I wish my body cam didn't fly off.
You're right.
I'm glad you know that for a fact.
Yeah, want to stop them, they start fighting.
Okay. Is this yours or his? That is not mine. That is his. He had it in his hand. This is mine. Yeah, did you get your body cam?
Yeah.
tested it this morning.
You all right, bro? That fire coming for you, okay?
You guys are bogus. And I did tell him the whole time. And I need your guys' bad number too, please.
8275.
And your name?
Harris.
And what is your name, sir? Badge number?
11787, Sue. Well, Yep, it's because he assaulted me. He also bit me.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all because that was our video.
What's that look like?
You can just leave it on the side for now.
She's the knower of all facts. The oracle in the Dollar Tree parking lot.
I haven't even seen her where she's speaking from.
She's wearing a white skirt.
You're
At the front door of the Dollar Tree.
Okay.
That's a whole lot of duty belts standing there. A whole lot of duty belts.
What happened to his knuckles?
Coming right.
Maybe I'm here.
Okay, there might be some intoxication of some sort. Tell them to step it up, please.
He's deaf. Why should he be talking to him?
That better be them.
I'm here, babe.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm here. Look at me.
Ma'am, hey, ma'am, over there on the sidewalk. Or you're going to go to jail. Over there on the sidewalk. Back up more.
I am backing up.
See that line in front of you? That's good. Thank you very much. If you come over here across that line, you're going to be arrested. You understand? Okay, you've received a warning. I'm going to assume you understand.
Roger, you make a good point.
You good, brother? I got ready.
Does he have any belongings, like my phone?
He has some belongings, yes.
Who's in the worst shape?
Probably him.
You got bit.
I got bit, yeah.
Was there another officer too, or just one?
He might have broke his hand, maybe.
We're more concerned about these officers' injuries than that dude that had a knife stuck in his head.
Hey man, this is the fire department, all right? You leave them alone.
Let them check you out, okay? They gave with the firefighter.
So what happened?
He can't hear you.
You got into a fight with somebody at the Circle K. He came over here, he started fighting with us. He bit the officer. Freaking out. Got stuff on him. He got tased too. Okay. I got it.
That's why I was
We're gonna space these guys.
Apparently, you guys tasered him and he has cerebral palsy. Good job.
Okay, well, he bit me. He should never attacked us.
Don't even bother with your
Real quick, he got bit by the Okay.
wrap it up for you, or do you want to take pictures first?
Yeah, I'll probably wait till pictures and
Okay,
stuff.
let me know. I'll wrap it up for you.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm gonna take a temperature here.
So I don't know if he's gonna.
We probably gotta wait for pictures first for the 245. Yeah, he might have broke his hand, maybe.
Okay. This officer
Yeah.
Thing, but I don't know if that's probably.
Okay, this is the video that Tactical Engineers has brought up a couple of times. Those are the co-hosts. You've seen it. It was one of the videos that was posted in there. So what do we think about this, Fidji? All right. Well, there's Tactical there. I'm glad you're here, sir. This is a video that you wanted us to review.
Oh, word. That's perfect timing.
I'm actually going to be a bill on this one. I think
Okay.
the absence of language and the sounds that the guy was making should have indicated that there was a problem there. That he had no idea what was going on. And yeah, and they used excessive force on him. That was ridiculous.
You think it was excessive?
Yeah, I do think it was excessive. How many times did they punch him in the head? Guy broke his hand on his head.
Well, how many times are they allowed?
Well, I don't know. If they didn't recognize that the guy had a communication problem, then there was a problem there. They used excessive force. And
Okay.
unnecessarily so.
So here, right here's the contact. They pull up. Oh, let me play it again. Go to the Circle K to the Dollar Tree. The suspect being arrested is right behind the mirror. You can see his feet.
Yep.
So he was walking one direction, turns the other direction. And he immediately goes to blows.
Wait a second. Is he immediately charging them, or did they immediately put their hands on him? That's not clear there.
He assaulted them.
Hey, buddy, stop where you're at. He turns, goes a different direction. His foot's turned towards the officer. Right foot is kicked back. I'd say he come to the officer.
Okay, but you can't
Look
see
at the shadow.
officer- you can't see the officer's feet, and the officer is leaning forward in that shadow.
Look at
He's going
he's got-
towards that guy.
He literally has one hand on each one of the guy's hands.
Okay.
Okay. Blows are being thrown. Boxing. I mean, that's what's happening right there. The boxing. Now they go to the ground.
Okay, at this point, he's only making sounds. He's not making any legible sounds.
Okay.
He's not talking. He's not trying to defend himself.
He is resisting, though.
I mean, he's resisting, but if in this case, he probably has no idea what the hell is going on
Okay. How are the officers supposed to know that?
because he's not talking. Joe, tell me another video where someone was getting arrested and where this kind of squabble is going on and they're not saying anything.
So you're saying if an officer,
just don't
if
know- I
someone
don't know where to
assaults
go
an
with that.
officer and then doesn't say anything, then they should just let him go.
Well,
No,
he's
it's
also
not a
no.
felon's
I'm not
fault.
saying they should let him go, but they should use some care and have some understanding that he might not realize what the hell is going on.
Right, but you can't expect them to just assume that.
Okay. So let's go. I'm not trying to talk you out of your decision. You're a bill on this. Excessive force. Okay. Tactical.
Yeah, I'm also a bill. I think this is definitely excessive force. I also think that, the cops literally just dropped their current investigation that they were doing to go after this man. And the way that they came up, like, Fiji's right. Like, you can't really tell, like, if the cop was moving in a way that came off aggressive first or if the guy was. It happened very fast. And even when you slow it down, it's still just like it. But from
Hold
his
up now.
perspective,
I think the officers went there. I think the officers were aggressive. They went there to detain a suspect or a person that they were told that assaulted them, and they've got to complain it. So yes, I think the officers were aggressive when they got there. But did the subject comply? Okay, let's go back to this. Do the police officers have legal authority to make contact with that man?
I don't believe they do. I don't think they have.
Why?
Because the call was for a white male, the one that they were currently detaining. That's what the what came in on the 911 call. That's what got confirmation from the store.
Okay, what does the call matter once the officers arrive? Why does the call matter?
Because they're trying to
Okay.
figure out who to trespass.
All right, there he goes. He says, "You want that guy outside there trespassed?" And they say, "Yeah." So now they're going to go talk to the guy outside. Let's listen
Yeah,
to that conversation.
This is the guy they want trespass.
Let's don't listen to the conversation. Listen, maybe y'all can tell me what they say. Okay, so what's an officer to do when someone says just that? And the officer is very clear. So you're saying he assaulted you and you want him to go to jail. So what is an officer supposed to do when he says yes?
Well,
Say, nope, I can't deal with that. I was called here for trespass, so I can't take that. That's not my problem right now, right?
He was called. The officers were called to trespass that specific individual.
The call doesn't matter. What happens when they get there? It's the totality of the circumstance. The call doesn't matter.
So you're saying that I could assault someone, and when the officers come and they say, "Hey, yes, he's the one who's doing it," I can just point to a random person and say, "Actually, do you know what? Actually, officer, this person assaulted me over there," and they just need to drop everything that they're doing to go
Now,
after that third
Now,
person.
you're skipping over a part. And I'll go back and play it again. They didn't just say jump and run. They said, so you're saying that man assaulted you and you want him to go to jail. They're going to ask him to sign a complaint that if he's lying about it and it's proven later that he could go to jail. He could be charged for a crime.
Right, but he's the one that's about to get the trespass. He's the one that just assaulted someone. So he's doing this to dodge.
What he tells them is, he says, I was afraid to come outside the store because I've been assaulted by this guy. And he points at this guy. I just don't get you. Well, you're acting like once again, it's kind of another conversation we had earlier. You're acting like the police officers, since the call was this, then this is their parameters, and they have no authority to go beyond that, or to apprehend someone that they say was an assault. And trespass, by the way, in most states, is a lower offense than what an assault would be.
That is true, but what I'm saying is that the call for assault and the call for trespass are on the same person, that white male. He was the one that assaulted someone in the store, and the one.
That's not the call. The call was a trespass. He walks in. You want that guy trespassed? Yes. They go out and talk to him. He says, I was afraid to come out of the store because this guy assaulted me. Now they pull up on this guy. He turns and ready to go to blows. It almost like it seems reasonable.
Well, the timeline of events is actually that the guy that called in, he was assaulting someone in the store. That's why they wanted him trespass. They didn't just say, "Oh, I just randomly want this guy trespass, so I'm calling 911." He assaulted someone in the store, so they called 911 to get that guy out and trespass. So they get the guy. He's like, "Is that the guy you want trespass?" Yes. Okay. They're talking to the guy that just assaulted someone in the store, and the store owner wants trespass for the store for said assault. Okay. And then that guy says, "Oh, by the way, this random person assaulted me," and the cops stop what they're doing and go after that random person. I mean, if that's the cheat code, that's just good to know. Next time, anything happens, they get pulled over, I can just point at somebody else, and they're just going to be like dogs and just completely change targets.
Okay, first, wait a second. Because the cops came up, they didn't know if that was the guy that called or not. So that guy immediately started going, "Hey, that guy."
You didn't talk to no one.
I can understand them taking that.
Okay.
But it was because they had someone who may be dangerous out there. So I can see them going after the other guy.
Hey, you guys are making assumptions. Listen to what the officer's first contact with the guy outside that pointed at the black man. Listen to what's said.
You didn't talk to no employee. It's 14 now. Okay.
So, one officer's talking to this cat already. The one we got the body worn cam walks up and says, I'm going to talk to employee. The other one says, I don't know what code he used, but I know what he's saying. He said, they just want him trespassed. So he says, okay, I'm going to go talk to the guy inside.
Right here. Where did they go? The first one went that way.
And the guy's already into his story about being assaulted.
Hey, you guys just want this guy to trespass? Okay.
They say anything if you want this guy arrested for assault, or do you just want this guy trespassed? Yeah, that's the answer there. So this is what the officers know, not all this random guy stuff. This is what the officers know.
We're saying that's the guy that's right there with the backwards hat on. Look, what's he gonna say if we go talk to him? He was.
So you say that he just points out a random guy and they ran like dogs. You actually used that term, but is that what's happening?
You can watch the video. He was standing right outside of the door. He pushed me inside the store, and then he's telling me, "Get out, get out." You know, I'm saying, I'm not going out there. There's other people. You're alleging he assaulted you. Do you want him to go to jail? Yes.
Are you alleging he assaulted you? Do you want him to go to jail?
Joe, it was a little odd when the officer went in there and that he just said, do you want this guy trespass? He didn't ask for, like, who was he talking about?
This guy that the cops are outside talking to.
Yeah, he's talking about the white male, and I'm not sure if it was shown in this one, but there was dispatch audio that also, like where they said that the person that they wanted trespass over the radio was a white male. That's what
Right.
the call for service.
And the officer
was.
goes in and says, this is the guy you want trespass? Yeah. So they're going out to trespass him. But he says, then can the trespasser be a victim of a crime? Or since he's the trespasser, he cannot be a victim of a crime. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. And if they left one officer there, that would make sense. But both officers leave. They just leave the guy that they're detaining.
But let's go back to the very beginning. Watch the officer's video camera that is attached to the one we're watching, attached to the officer that we're watching.
I just broke my drink.
He's already talking to an officer. There's two vehicles. This officer has been there before. He's got his notepad out. He's got this guy identified. This guy's handled up for a criminal trespass. No problem.
You didn't talk to no employee?
They just wanted 14 gone.
Okay.
They just want him 14 gone.
Right here. Where did they go? The first
See the notepad in his hand?
So are you saying that he was basically done with that trespass, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it doesn't take long for a trespass. You need to leave. If you come back here, we catch you back here, we can arrest you on site. That's pretty much a trespass. The owner doesn't want you here any longer. But this guy, who could be the trespasser, he absolutely says, are you alleging this man assaulted you and you want him to go to jail? You want to press charges, basically. Yes, that's what I want. He's a citizen. He has the right to make a complaint, and they have an obligation, a duty at this point to investigate that complaint, which would start with contacting the other party. But the other party is not really talking.
Yeah, because he's deaf, which
Well, who
I'm
knows?
assuming that person. I mean, I'm pretty sure that part has been
Oh,
confirmed.
you know the white guy knows because he's the white guy, and this was done because this guy's skin was brown.
Oh no! I didn't say that the white guy knew that the guy was deaf. I mean, there's a
How
possibility.
how are the
that-
officers supposed to know? How much time did they have? The guy say I'm deaf? No, he cocked up and was ready to go. Changed his direction. He's walking one way. He's walking across the path of the officer. When the vehicle stops, he stops and pivots and turns back to the driver's side of the vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, if 12 just pulled up on me like that, I would pivot too. I'm sorry, like, yeah, I'm like,
okay.
oh, I'm not going that way.
If the police pull up on you like that, you might want to not pivot like that. See what they've got to say. I guess my point on this is that we're real quick to say these officers were aggressive. They were aggressive. They were investigating an assault. This guy's demeanor when they approach him is pretty indicative to someone who very well, I believe this guy could assault someone else. He wasn't hesitant to draw back and take the stance to do so with the police. So everything seems reasonable at this point. He's on the ground. They don't know that he's deaf. I'm not sure he's deaf. His wife said she was on the phone with him the whole time. I don't know how that works either way.
That FaceTime.
And that may be the case, but these officers have no way of knowing. He doesn't have a sign around his neck saying I'm deaf. His demeanor wasn't acting anything but aggressive. And even on the ground, he bit one officer who wouldn't give the hands up. They rode the lightning on him more than a couple of times, and he yet still didn't capitulate and submit to the authority of the police officers, which he is obligated to do at this point.
There's two things that I find really strange about this. One, when the officer goes in the store, they're going to trespass the white guy who's saying that inside the store, the other guy assaulted him. Someone would have seen that. They're still going to trespass the guy if he was a victim of an assault.
It doesn't matter if they're the owner. Oh, exactly. If I'm the owner of a property and there's somebody walks up on my doorstep or comes into my business, then I don't like them I don't have to have a reason. I don't have to. They just like in Texas. Okay, go ahead.
Someone comes into your property, another person like hits him and assaults him. You're going to trespass the first guy,
I can trespass whoever I want.
and you're not going to say anything about the assault.
If I'm the property owner, I don't really care. I'll trespass both of you. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Are
but
you
like
talking
to
about
the
the police
police,
officer or are you talking about the property owner?
the property owner to the police. And just for the record, there was no assault captured on the footage.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does. Okay, that doesn't matter. You're assuming that the officers did this full-fledged 4-day investigation before they went to make contact with this guy, and of course they did not. You apprehend the suspect, and you have a conversation.
Yeah, but I guess the point of me saying is that white guy was full of shit. He literally just said the cops go here. And
I think if the video says otherwise, that guy should be charged. I agree with you. That guy's full of shit. But let's get around to this. We're going back and forth. Let's go. I don't know where we're at, but I'm going to go to Bruce Wayne.
Caught me off the screen again. Yeah, no, it's an easy no, Bill, for sure. Because you got to put yourself in the officer's shoes. What do they know? This guy, he escalated 100%. You go there, if he's in the wrong, or if the officers are in the wrong, they go up there. You'd be like, "Hey, what are you talking about?" Well, let's go watch the video footage. Let's go talk to the store clerk. You don't throw a punch. Like, that guy absolutely escalated. The officers, like, you can quibble about what's excessive, what's proper use of force. I think the officers were right in their they were operating their line of duty. I have no problem with it. It's no, Bill.
Okay. Big Ron, you still with us?
Man, he left a while ago.
Man, sorry about that. TC.
I know too much about the background of this one to be fair and impartial.
Well, you can't look at it knowing the background, because I do too. You got to look at it from what the cops knew at that moment.
Right, but the problem is I know way too much about the background of this to be able to do that.
Okay, so everything you know about the background, just discard and look at it first person in the moment.
I'm telling you right now, with as much as I
let's go to
watch this
Jason.
video, I can't.
Let's go to Jason.
I know nothing about background. I'm just going to say use of force continue is based upon the level to affect the arrest of something. So I'm not billing it, but I don't know the background of it. It looks horrible. Honestly, it looks really bad. But the guy never really cooperated at all. So I'm not billing it based upon what I see here. He could have just gave up.
Okay. I think that the officers had legal authority to be where they were at. They had legal authority to make contact with him. He resisted from the very get, and I think the officers used appropriate force to get him into custody. Now, whether he was really a suspect or not, I don't know. If that guy on the stoop that we all heard, if he lied, he should be in jail. He should be charged with that, and I would suspect that he would be. The fact that the man's deaf, it's impossible for an officer to tell, unless they say it or they give some indication, like a deaf person would be something. But this guy didn't. This guy, in my opinion, he turned and he was ready to go to blows right off the get, and that's what happens. So I would say no bill on this as well. But guys, that's going to be our show for tonight. Catch us on X. Give us about 20 minutes, and we'll kick up a little after party, and we can keep talking about this. Are those type of blows a method to gain compliance? Yes, it's called pain compliance. You keep applying pain until you get compliance. That's the way that works. And we got some gram factors, and absolutely does not comply with the gram factors. My opinion is that it does. But that's it, folks. Thanks for a good show.
Hello.
No.
And did you ever get any money from Maya Lansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
None
fellas?
of those fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, or none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Chetties?
No. I don't even speak to it. I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk to him.
You don't like him?
No.
Night Court with Joe Lanou, live on X.
Also known as Duck Corella. I refuse to answer on the grounds of made attempt to criminate. You got any business? I refuse to answer on the grounds of attempt to criminate. You have any profession? I refuse to answer on the grounds of made attempt to criminate. You have any occupation? I refuse